Welcome back, everyone. We're here today with episode 2351 of the Cabral Concept. Today's show is going to be on, is time under tension the answer for amazing body transformation results? If you've been in the fitness industry, if you like to exercise, if you're looking to tone up your body, add more muscle tone, boost your metabolism, get in better shape, whatever it might be, today's episode is for you. So I've certainly talked about time under tension before, probably 5 years ago in the show now. But the funny thing is that, again, like I've been in the fitness industry before I was in pretty much anything else. I was in the nutrition and fitness industry from essentially 18 years old. You can get, when you are 18 years old, you can get certified to be a personal trainer, and you can get certified to be a nutritional specialist or nutritional consultant. And when I was 17, so when I got sick and all of that, and I still wanted to do something because sports were no longer an option for me because I simply didn't have the energy, stamina, endurance to be able to do track or any of the other sports that I used to love, basketball, etc. And so I had to find something else. And so I just started to go to the gym. I loved it. And I wanted to also get a free gym membership. So I used to work at some of these gyms. And I wasn't old enough yet to be a personal trainer. So I became a fitness technician, which is basically a fancy name for someone that picks up all of the weights when you're not putting them back on the rack, and someone that wipes down all of the equipment. So that was my fancy job at 17 years old. But, it's been a long time since I was 17 years old, and I've read a whole lot of books and got a whole lot of certifications in the health, fitness, wellness-based industry, and it really is one of the most amazing industries in the world. I think really being a personal trainer or a health coach is just one of the greatest jobs that someone could have. I know a lot of massage therapists and a lot of estheticians and a lot of chiropractors, and a lot of acupuncturists. Like everybody kind of feels that way because the truth is, like, you're working with real people, you're helping them get results, relieve some type of pain, and you're doing good work. Like, you're providing good service. And so it's an amazing industry. If anybody listening to this is looking to make a career change in any way, or maybe even just an add-on, I did this as an add-on when I was 22 years old, graduated from undergrad, and thought I was supposed to do some other type of job, not just what I loved. That was basically it. And I was doing both, and so it can be done. Obviously, you can't do that, I don't think, forever. That's a sure stage for burnout. But it is worth exploring. It's an amazing industry. And I say that because I've read now hundreds and hundreds of books on all things health and fitness and nutrition, all those great things, not to mention thousands of books on wellness, trying to get myself well. And I've have so many colleagues now because of these great industries. And the reason why I mention all of that is because I've learned from the best, meaning like back in my day, meaning the late 90s and early 2000s, I was studying under Coach Mike Boyle, and I studied or learned from Mark Verstegen and a bunch of other just like elite coaches that people back in the day, they would know their names, for sure. Today, maybe not as much, but certainly they're active in the industry. But I just have great colleagues that I can still learn from and listen to this day. Ben Pekulski, Jason Ferrugia, the Mind Pump guys, are fantastic. So it's like I still have a lot of colleagues, a lot of friends in this industry, and they're doing great work. And so I just hearken back to my love for the industry, and also just like the good debate. And that's what today's podcast is really going to be about. What there's a debate is to, like, when people give out programs or talk about programs online, it's basically like, my program works and nothing else does, right? That's how people promote their programs. It's like, and I don't know, I can't understand this to this day. But anyway, it's like this hierarchy is like, oh yeah, 5 reps is fine, but it's not going to work for this, or this, never do 20 reps, right? No, that doesn't work for anybody, but someone's doing 20 reps and they're getting great results. So it's like, you have to understand that there are underlying themes that always work in exercise. I remember reading Joe Weider's book a million years ago, and when I read it, and it was like the Weider Principles, maybe it was called. I can't remember anymore. I would love for someone to write in the comments what it's called. But those principles hold true to today. Like, you can read that book and you're like, oh, yeah. I mean, this is how you get in great shape. Like, it doesn't change, right? Because our physiology is not changing. We haven't evolved to a new type of human, right? We're still the same human. So what I want to do is I want to share with you one underlying principle that let everybody else argue whether you should do 5 reps, 8 reps, 12 reps, 15 reps, 20 reps. Like, let other people argue about that. what I want you to do is get great results. So it's my belief that you can get great results from any program in terms of body transformation. Today, we're not going to talk about strength. We're going to talk about getting leaner, getting more muscle tone. You know, again, I don't like the word muscle tone, but people understand what it means, and being able to reshape your body. Like that's what we're talking about here today. And I believe the underlying theme that you will see is time under tension. So I'm going to tag actually my friend and colleague Jay Ferrugia about this, because he put up a video the other day and it was him doing a one-leg Romanian deadlift. And I follow Jay's account. And so I don't know how long it is, but I'm assuming like Instagram only allows you to play a 60-second video. Well, he was doing it on one leg. I wasn't counting his reps, but there's no way he did more than like 6 reps to 8 reps maximum in that 60 seconds. All right. So he only did 6 to 8 reps. Now he probably kept going with it, but it was in 1 minute it took him. Think about this for a second, because I'm going to break down all the different rep ranges. Most people finish their set in like 20 or 30 seconds. But it's also why I think most people aren't getting the results they're looking for. That's my belief. Because I believe time under tension times intensity is the most important thing for getting in great shape or changing your body, reshaping your body. So time under tension, you could game the system, because you could pick up a pair of, like Jay could have been using 5-pound dumbbells to do a one-legged Romanian deadlift. Could have. Wouldn't cause a lot of intensity though, right? But he could have done that for like 2 minutes. Probably wouldn't have caused that much intensity. But he's holding like 80 pounds in each hand, and he's doing the reps super slow. Now, do you need to go super slow? Well, you need to go slow enough, and I'm going to teach you why and share with you why in just a moment. So think about this as we're going through. So a lot of people do 5 reps, and they do 5 sets. More of a strength-based workout. I'm not going to get into 1 to 3 reps right now and all that, but there's a time and place for 5 by 5. I've done 5 by 5 many, many times in my life, always typically with compound movements like a squat, deadlift, bench, etc., bent over rows. So here's the thing. Most people, when they're doing a 5 by 5, they're not counting their seconds. But I'll tell you this, in college, I went to World's Gym. And it is a hardcore gym. Like, I could have gone to my school gym, but it was not ideal, very little equipment at the time. And so I went to World's Gym, and I paid for it. I saw the benefit in it, and so I did it. And again, it was like probably like $10 a month, to be honest with you. But again, in college, like that's not insignificant, to be honest with you. So I go there, and I see these guys, and yes, there was probably some steroid use being done or overdone with a lot of the strength-based trainers, but they were doing the work. They were doing the work for sure, and they were getting results. And the thing is, you'd see them do 3 reps, 5 reps, really never more than that. And these are really big power lifters. And their sets, though, would easily take 20 to 30 seconds for just 5 reps. Think about that. Most people, they go to the gym, pick up a pair of 5-pound dumbbells, do some curls, and they're done in like 10 seconds with their curls, 20 seconds. That's why they're not getting results, though. So think about this. I'm going to break them all down right now. 5 reps times 5 seconds per rep, all right? And you're gonna do 5 sets. So you're basically, let's do just bench press because I can demonstrate on video. If you're watching on video, great. On YouTube, we appreciate you following, subscribing to the channel. You can watch it at stephencabral.com/2351 as well. So think about it. I'm lowering the weight right now. I'm trying to lower the weight as slow as I can, maybe 4 seconds or so. 1 second, I just blast back up. Now, it can be longer, it can be shorter, and then your results will change as well. But if that's basically 5 seconds for each rep, and I'm doing 5 reps, total it's 25 seconds per set, times 5 sets is going to equal 125 seconds, which is 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Don't worry about keeping all this in mind. Keep in mind the very last number I said, which is 2 minutes and 5 seconds worth of tension, time under tension for that bench press. All right, now someone's doing 8 reps. Okay, they're doing 8 repetitions and they're doing 4 sets, right? They're not doing 5 sets, they're doing 4 sets. So each rep, we'll say, is gonna last 4 seconds here. 1 second up, so we just push up, and then 3 seconds down for tension if you're doing it right? Again, you can do longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but again, if you do it shorter, it's less time under tension. So now, what do we get? Well, we get 32 seconds per set, all right? 8 times 4. So when we do 4 sets times 32, we get 132 seconds. That's 2 minutes and 12 seconds. So about 7 minutes longer than the 8 reps. The next one, let's say it's a 12 rep range. So we're going to do 3 sets here because we're going up in reps, but down in total volume of sets. And we're going to say that each rep here lasts 4 seconds. I think that might be a little bit too generous. I think people probably don't do that long. I think they'll probably do 1 down and 1 or 2 down and then 1 up, but I'm giving it 3 seconds if we're doing it more properly. So that's going to equal 48 seconds because again, it's 4 seconds times 12 reps. We're at 48 seconds per set. Now, if we only did 3 seconds, we'd be at 36 seconds per set. So that's 48 seconds per set times 3 sets is 144 seconds. Now, this is 2 minutes and 44 seconds. So that's basically 30 more seconds, a half a minute more than the 8 reps. Keep that in mind. Now, the last rep range is going to be 15 reps, we'll say. Now, again, I'm going to share with you. I began a program that's even more reps than that, and I'll share that in just a moment. So in this last one, 15 reps times 3 sets. Sometimes people only do 2 sets. That's okay as well. So each rep is going to last 3 seconds, 1 up. So I press the weight up, and then I come back down over 2 seconds, up, back down over 2 seconds. If we do it that way, it's 45 seconds per set times 3 sets is going to be, let's see if I have my math right here, 120 plus 40, let's see here, 120, if I'm doing my 3 sets, plus 120. Okay, so we have 45 seconds per set because, per set because we are doing 3 seconds per rep times 15 reps. So we're at 45 seconds. We multiply that over 3 sets and we're at 135 seconds. So that's about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So, and that is because we went down 1 second per rep. And that's because people who do higher reps typically move faster through the movement. So this is very interesting because if we look at this and we look at what has been known to get people the greatest amount of hypertrophy, what does that mean? Basically means a muscle gain, but I know that people don't like to hear the word gain, even though they're not going to gain that much muscle. Let's call it muscle tone. If they want to reshape their body, the best range to do that is basically between like 10 and 12 reps, maybe 8 to 12. I want to make an argument of why 8 reps is not the magic number, just for a second in a moment, but it makes sense. And it makes sense from so many different vantage points. You could go into, well, it affects the sarcoplasm more, which is the actual fluid inside of the muscles, and the muscles are 72% water, essentially, or fluid. And so the more you can volumize those cells, the larger they'll look, or the more tone that they'll have to them, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. I think what people tend to overlook is that hypertrophy can happen in any range, not just from the tissue or the myofibril, which might happen at lower reps, let's say 5 or more strength-based over time, but it's also going to happen at all rep ranges. It is because it's the last couple of reps that might make the myofibril changes, and it's the volume that's going to make the sarcoplasm-based changes or sarcoplasmic-based changes. So here's the thing, though. If we just do the math here, we're looking at 12 reps as being the greatest amount of time under tension if done how we stated, which is 1 second up, 3 seconds down. And that's probable for most people. Again, I didn't talk about a pause. If you really want to go in depth, I wrote a book on this called A Man's Guide to Muscle and Strength. It's through the publisher Human Kinetics. They're one of the largest fitness publishers out there. I didn't name it. The publisher named it. It's for women as well. It's not just for men, and it's a year's worth of workouts. I might make 50 cents on it, maybe. Like, honestly, I do it because I want to get this information out to people, and I don't own the book rights at all for it. So here's the thing, though. You can get results in any rep range. That's the theme of this. If you are doing it how I laid it out, and you're getting at least 90 seconds to 2 minutes of time under tension, you're going to be able to get results. But there has to be the intensity to it. It's oftentimes why 5 reps can get people great results, but 8 reps doesn't. Because 8 reps for a lot of people isn't that intense. They've been told to do 8 reps, like for moderate strength and moderate hypertrophy, and it can be great. Well, 8 reps can be phenomenal if there's a lot of tension with that. That means as you're finishing that set, it is really difficult. Or ideally, for every rep during that set, this is the other difference. Every rep during the set, you're feeling it. So a lot of people do 15 reps. They don't feel it until they get to rep number 12. Okay. That matters. Because if you're squeezing your chest muscles, and we won't get into all the other muscles working during chest press, and then you're feeling them stretch and stabilize on the way down, you're working every rep. That is the difference. So when you go online and you see a Jason Ferrugia, you see the Mind Pump crew, you see Ben, you see all these great people teaching their philosophies, they could come at it from different workout angles. But really what they're saying is do compound movements, make sure there's time and attention, and make sure there's intensity. That's what really matters. So if you're not getting results, I would love you in your next workout to time your sets. Don't do anything different. Just literally time how long it takes you to complete a set. Because I go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, and I see people working out, and I'm like, well, that set took 10 seconds. Like, that was it. And it's going to be difficult. Now, again, 10 seconds is fine if you're going for like a strength-based gain. No problem. Like, that's a neurological-based lift at like a couple reps. No big deal. So again, I'm not here to judge anybody, and that might be their whole routine, and I'm fine with that. Again, like, I'm not here to judge. But if the goal was the person to get results in terms of body transformation, you need to actually feel it. Right? That muscle needs to feel it. It needs to feel intense. It needs to burn. You need to know that that muscle is working. And what I can tell you is that it's always been the same. People just package it in a different way. I've shared this story before, but a good friend of mine as well, he's in the overall wellness-based industry. He's like, hey, have you read this book? And I was like, oh, no, I haven't read that book yet. I'll pick it up. So I purchased it. I don't want to give away the name of the book. And but they were like, oh, it's really interesting. It's saying that you really only need 2 sets of 8 reps. And I'm like, 2 sets of 8 reps? It's only 16 total reps. I'm like, how intense could it be? Like that. Let's check this out. And still at 8 reps, it's not like you can use the heaviest weight in the world. So I read it, and then I'm like, oh, it's because they recommend 2 warm-up sets first. It's still 4 sets, right? Like, people can package it in different ways, but they're doing 4 sets, and the first 2 sets are actually 10 reps. So now they're doing 20 reps plus 16. So what are they really doing? They're doing 36 reps. Right? So like, that's the difference, is that people just package it in different ways. But really, when you're looking at it, you need to be around 30 reps. If the weight's a little bit lighter, you need to be higher in reps. I've seen people get phenomenal results at 15 reps. And I'm going a little long on the show here today, so I am going to just direct you to a podcast that I did a couple months back. And I was actually experimenting with 20 to 25 rep sets for 2 to 3 sets. So my time under tension was about a minute per set, sometimes more. So it was about 3 seconds or so, maybe 4 per rep. So again, I was at that 60 seconds plus. So it was over 3 minutes total. Now you might say, well, you can't use a very heavy weight doing that. Well, no, you're right. I used a moderate weight, but I actually got better results. And I got better results focused on the muscle, knowing that I needed to make sure the first few reps counted as well. They couldn't just be wasted reps. And then there was so much time under tension and pushing through like the burning that was going on in the muscle, I actually got better results. And so I just want to share with you, that's not a program that I need to do for the rest of my life. I actually believe in varied workouts. You get better results that way over time, and you train the body in different ways. But what I don't want to do is discount any workouts out there. I want to share some of the core philosophies that get you the results that you're looking for. So hopefully this was helpful. If you agree, I'd love to hear your thoughts below. If you disagree, love to hear those too. Let me know what you thought, and I would love to hear again, like, how long your actual sets are taking. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, and as I always say, feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve.